Hey guys, OGAlbina here, bringing you guys a different kind of video today. I guess I'll start off like this. If you guys know me, on Discord, wherever it may be, you'll know that I pride myself as a builder. I think as a player, I have a lot that I can improve on. But when it comes to building for my Draft League games, I think I do have it pretty down pat. I think I am a very solid builder. And I wanted a way to kind of showcase that and, maybe share my building, not experience, but like the way I approach matchups so you guys can see it visually, because obviously when Draft League players and even myself obviously do team builders, we show you the end product. We don't show you the thought process behind it, or how I'm checking calcs, how I'm speed creeping, things like that. So I figured this would be today I would do a video like that. I'm in APA Evolution. It's a league that I uploaded a movie for the season prior to this one, and I'll probably end up doing that again, but I'm gonna be playing my buddy Amel. Love Amel, he's a great player, and I'm on a bit of a cold streak right now. I dropped 2 in a row. I started off the season 3-0, then I dropped 2, so this game's really important, so I'm really gonna grind out this build, and I'm actually gonna like time lapse it and put it on the screen with matchup and calc and everything right next to it, and like speed it up super fast so you can see my thought process, how I'm building the team, and then afterwards I'll show you guys the match and stuff like that. But yeah, if this is a concept that you're interested in, something you enjoyed, please let me know. Obviously I'll keep making them if you enjoy them, because I think this could be a lot of fun, and I play in a lot of showdown leagues that I'm not uploading. I feel like this would be a cool way to showcase them. But yeah, let's go jump into the build. Alright guys, here we are with the battle. You can see the team that Amel elected to bring. He went with the Mega Aerodactyl, the Zapdos, the Salazzle, Golurk, Cryogonal, and the Tapu Lele. Now I am a bit surprised that he ended up going with Cryogonal, but I suppose it does give him solid rapid spin support. I did expect things like Salazzle can be very, very annoying for my team, especially like a Subtoxic that can be very terrifying. Arrow, biggest threat to our team. The Scarf Zapdos can definitely be scary as well. In the end game, once we get a little bit chipped down, we also kind of just lose to that thing. And then Lele is Lele, and it's scary. So we're gonna have to be careful about that. Let's go ahead and jump right in though. I'm going to elect to lead off with my Metagross. Unfortunately, he leads off with his Golurk, so I'm gonna pivot right on out back into Lando. We checked this thing pretty phenomenally. We will have an Ice Punch pretty well, and I want to get up my rocks. It helps with that arrow. Putting in range of other hits on my team. It puts the Salazzle on a bunch of range of a bunch of stuff, and then the Cryo as well, if it's not actually boot. So he's going to elect to get up his own rocks. This is fine, because I'm going to get up my own as well, as he elects to rock polish his next turn, which I found interesting. And in my head, I'm like, again, Ice Punch is kind of bouncing off me, especially with the Intimidate and me being very defensive in my Rocky Helmet Earthquake. So in my head, I'm like, I'll just stay in Earthquake this thing, get off as much damage as possible, as he ends up self-destructing, going kaboom, only doing 44 though. So our Earthquake isn't really going to pop, which is fine. He gets out into the Cryo. We see that he's in fact not going to be heavy-duty boots. This is fine. I'm going to save my Landers because it gives me an Intimidate pivot for the Aerodactyl. I can still get up rocks later, even though he does have a very free spin here if he elects to go for that. I still think it's in my best interest personally to switch this out and, you know, pivot back in later, maybe get up rocks later on, like a Salazzle or like a Mega Aerodactyl if it doesn't have Aqua Tail. So I got into Metagross because also if you look at Amel's team, his Metagross switch-in does not exist. There is not a single switch-in to Meteor Mash whatsoever on his team. Lele dies. Salazzle, I suppose, can potentially switch in, but if we go for an Earthquake or Zen Headbutt, I think he's going to get blown ass backwards, especially if he isn't like a lefty, he's like a Black Sludge type set. That's unrecoverable damage. Zapdos does not want to take it, and then Arrow is actually going to drop as well. And there's no Psychic Terrain up, so we can potentially Bullet Punch and pick something off afterwards if they do elect to come in like the Zapdos. So he's going to elect to spin. This is fine with me. As he goes for a knockoff, getting rid of my AV, this is smart because it makes his Lele much more potently offensive versus us and stuff. We're going to Meteor Mash. It's actually Babiri, but Metagross is too damn strong, and he's going to be able to take out that Cryogonal. Now, out comes the Salazzle. In my head, I'm like, this is interesting. Obviously, Fire Move can definitely come out for free here. I think I'm going to pivot Landers, though, because Landers, while he knows I'm not a, I guess he doesn't know yet, but based on me getting a Brock in the game, he knows I'm not Scarf or anything like that, but maybe if we can potentially bluff it, or just sack Landers off, I'm completely fine with that. I feel like as if I have more, you know, options and ways of beating down that Aerodactyl later on with my team. So I am just going to elect to sack off the Landers as he ends up going for a Dragon Dance. And in my head, I'm like, okay, are you Dragon Dance special? Do you just have it for the speed boost? Because in that case, I figured he might be Flame Charge, but if he's like Life Orb, maybe he didn't want to take the extra chip, that plus a potential Rocky Helmet from something like Landers, I don't know. As he reveals the Dragon Dance here, and he's Oblivious too, which is something to keep in mind. So he's not Corrosion at all either, which means he's immune to Intimidate and Taunt. As I'm just going to sack off my Lander, see what he wants to go for, as he actually goes for a Flare Blitz. And now this is a crazy ass set. This is some Amel type shit for him to run Dragon Dance Physical Salazzle. If you don't know Amel's a really good buddy of mine. He's in my front office. He helps me very often. He's a phenomenal player. But he is known for bringing some crazy stuff. He is the Heat God. Like, he's very creative as a builder. the week prior to this, he played John Jr. He brought like a mono acrobatics, rest talk, psychic seed, bulk up Zapdos, and it was crazy. So this is like Amel's token 1 crazy set this week, and while this seems like, oh shit, this is scary, the fact that you'll see this is also Life Orb, the fact that it has to take recoil, plus my helmet that turn, Landers honestly did his job. It brought this thing down to a clean 55%. I have my Tornadus. Now, the reason I go into my Tornadus is because I don't see it as necessary to win this game. I still have my Coco to offensively and defensively check that Zapdos. And obviously this thing's faster than me right now. The Torn doesn't really break through the arrow that's still chilling at full, and I don't kill the Lele from full either. So I figured it's in my best interest to sack off Torn just to put this thing in range of a bullet punch. Now, that crit did not matter, we died no matter what, but this thing's going to be brought down very, very low to where we will be able to go into our Metagross and potentially click bullet punch after that. And again, he does not have switching to Steel Step. He's going to make the really aggressive play and go into Lele though, which is definitely smart. Obviously, I brought this thing in. Punch, but this is fine. I still do live any one hit from this thing, as he does elect to go for a Shadow Ball. Only going to do about 45%, and we're going to Meteor Mash, knock out the Lele. Phenomenal. Great stuff. Now, in my opinion, he's kind of forced right here. He's kind of forced to go into Salazzle. Reason being, I can still Bullet Punch the other two, get a good amount of chip off. Obviously, if I'm Zen in terrain, that does a ridiculous amount of Zapdos as well, which is what I would probably click in case it was like set up or something like that. So I figured that it was my best option to just, you know, go for Ice Punch or something like that, or Meteor Mash, depending on what he goes into. As he doesn't let go into Salazzle, that's fine, because Life Orb plus Flavorless Recoil will be enough to take me out. I just make sure this thing's set up for the Dragon Dance so it doesn't do more damage than it, you know, reasonably should. As we are going to drop there, and this is going to put me in a position where if you look at my opponent's team and you look at Blastoise, it wins from this point. There's nothing that this Zapdos can do to kill me and stop me from setting up a Shell Smash. Now, it can potentially taunt me, but if it taunts me, that's fine as well. I have ways around this, and I'm not super worried, because then my Coco can also win. Once I get an Ice Beam off on this thing, even if it ends up putting me in range of the arrow, we're shook on our Coco to where we can knock out the arrow the subsequent turn afterwards. So we should be in a pretty good spot to win this game. We are going to go into Blastoise. He ends up clicking Low Sweep, lowering our speed, but this is honestly fine because of our White Herb. It's going to, you know, obviously take that off of us. We're going to Shell Smash, get up to +2, and that's essentially just going to be the game. We're going to Ice Beam this Zapdos, guaranteed knock it out, and then out comes the arrow, and we're going to be able to finish it off with the Surf. So GG's to Amel. Definitely a good one. He brought some crazy shit. Like I said, the Dragon Dance Salazzle was definitely not something I prepped for, but we were able to kind of buff him with, honestly, the defensive presence of Landorus. Metagross just not having any kind of switch-in, and him just kind of running out of pieces to beat our last few Mons. Because he run a very, very hyper-offensive team, and he kind of burned through a lot of his Mons really, really early on, trying to deal with our early Mons. So Blastoise is able to, you know, set up in position to win the game later on. But yeah, again, GG's to Amel. Very good buddy of mine. I don't think he uploads or anything like that, but he's a really, really good guy. Thank you to him for, you know, giving me this game and all his help he gives me in the front office. If any of you want to join the front office, a link to my server will be in the description below. You don't have to join to help me prep either. We also have just a pretty active community there, despite our small size. It's definitely a lot of fun on the server, so if you want to join, definitely go ahead and do so. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know. This kind of insight into my building process, as well as, you know, more analytical side of, you know, some showdown games, stuff like that. I probably will end up doing an Evo move at the end of the season, so I don't know if I'll continue to do APA Evolution like type videos like this, just because I do want to upload these all together at some point like I did last season. But regardless, it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to do some more videos like this in the future. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.